Today, we're diving into the bizarre and baffling world of laws that will leave you scratching your head. These are some of the strangest regulations ever put into practice. Let's get started. No chewing gum in Singapore. First up, we have Singapore, where chewing gum is practically illegal. Yep, you heard that right. This law was introduced in 1992 to keep public places clean and gum-free. The only exceptions are for therapeutic, dental, or nicotine gums, which you can only get from a doctor. If you're caught importing or selling gum, you could face hefty fines or even jail time. This might sound extreme, but it's all about maintaining cleanliness. Singapore is known for its spotless streets, and the government wanted to make sure it stayed that way. So, if you're visiting Singapore, better leave your chewing gum at home to avoid any sticky situations. It's illegal to die in Longyearbyen, Norway. In the remote town of Longyearbyen, Norway, it's illegal to die. This strange law exists because the town's cemetery stopped accepting bodies over 70 years ago due to permafrost preventing bodies from decomposing. So, if someone is terminally ill or has a severe accident, they are flown to the mainland to pass away. This law might sound morbid, but it's rooted in practicality. The permafrost preserves bodies so well that diseases can potentially resurface. To prevent this, Longyearbyen simply doesn't allow any new burials. It's a unique solution to a very chilly problem. You must walk your dog daily in Turin, Italy. In Turin, Italy, pet owners are legally required to walk their dogs at least 3 times a day. This law was enacted to ensure that animals are treated well and get the exercise they need. If you fail to walk your dog, you could be fined up to €500. This law highlights Italy's commitment to animal welfare. The authorities believe that pets deserve a good quality of life, and regular walks are part of that. So, if you're a dog owner in Turin, make sure you've got your walking shoes ready. No high heels at ancient sites in Greece. When visiting ancient sites in Greece, such as the Acropolis, leave your high heels at home. The law prohibits wearing high heels at these historical locations to prevent damage to the ancient stones. Those stilettos might look great, but they can cause significant harm to the delicate ruins. This regulation helps preserve Greece's rich historical heritage. By banning high heels, the government ensures that these ancient treasures remain intact for future generations. It's a small sacrifice for a big cause, preserving history. No Winnie the Pooh in Polish playgrounds. In Poland, Winnie the Pooh is banned from playgrounds and schools. Why? Because the beloved bear doesn't wear pants, and officials deemed him an inappropriate influence for children. This might sound absurd, but it's a real law enforced in certain areas. The controversy stems from Pooh's clothing, or lack thereof, which some believe sets a bad example for kids. While it might seem over the top, it's a reminder of how cultural differences can influence what's deemed acceptable or not. So, if you're a Pooh fan, you might need to keep your enthusiasm in check in Poland. If you came this far, consider dropping a like and subscribing for more quirky content. No selfies with Buddha in Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, taking selfies with Buddha statues is illegal. This law is part of the country's efforts to maintain respect for Buddhism, which is the major religion there. Taking photos with your back turned to Buddha is considered disrespectful and can result in fines or even imprisonment. This law underscores the importance of cultural sensitivity and respect for religious beliefs. While selfies are fun, it's crucial to be aware of local customs and laws, especially when visiting significant religious sites. Always show respect to the traditions and beliefs of the places you visit. Don't feed the pigeons in Venice, Italy. Feeding pigeons in Venice, Italy, is against the law. The city banned this activity to protect its historic buildings and reduce the pigeon population, which was causing significant damage with their droppings. Violators can be fined heavily for feeding these birds. Venice's beautiful architecture and history are vital to its charm, and this law helps preserve that. The ban on feeding pigeons is part of a broader effort to maintain the city's cleanliness and prevent damage to its ancient structures. So, resist the urge to feed those feathered friends while enjoying the canals. No bicycles on sidewalks in Japan. In Japan, riding a bicycle on the sidewalk is generally prohibited. This law ensures pedestrian safety and maintains order in the bustling urban areas. If you're caught cycling on the sidewalk, you could face a fine or even arrest. This regulation reflects Japan's commitment to public safety and orderliness. By keeping bicycles off sidewalks, the authorities reduce the risk of accidents and ensure that both pedestrians and cyclists can coexist peacefully. So, if you're cycling in Japan, make sure to stick to the designated bike lanes. No reincarnation without permission in China. In China, Tibetan Buddhist monks are not allowed to reincarnate without government permission. This unusual law, implemented in 2007, is part of China's efforts to control religious practices and the selection of religious leaders within Tibetan Buddhism. This law might sound bizarre, but it highlights the complex relationship between religion and state in China. The government's involvement in such spiritual matters is a way to maintain control over the region and its cultural practices. It's a stark reminder of the intersection between politics and religion. No frowning in Milan, Italy. Last but not least, in Milan, Italy, it's illegal to frown in public, except during funerals or hospital visits. This quirky law dates back to the Austro-Hungarian times and is intended to keep the city's spirits high. If you're caught with a grumpy face, you might be fined. This light-hearted law encourages a positive atmosphere in the bustling city. While it's not always strictly enforced, it serves as a fun reminder to keep smiling and enjoy life. So, next time you're in Milan, put on a happy face and spread some joy. And that's a wrap on the top 10 weirdest laws from around the world. Did any of these surprise you? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more intriguing content. See you next time.